Hi, everybody. I hope you're all well. And as always, thank you for spending time with me. Just a word of warning, or then let's rather call it a tip. My titles are a little nondescript these days because I notice that when I use certain names in my titles, I stand a bigger chance to get demonetized. I had 3 videos demonetized since the end of July. And obviously, I'm not getting paid for those videos, but more than that, it stuffs up the channel's algorithm, which causes my videos to take longer to load as the checking process is taking longer because YouTube sees it as my own evaluation to have been inaccurate before. Usually, I don't give a hoot, but I have some things going on in my life and I cannot afford any of this right now, or at least not for the next 2 months. Thereafter, I'll be back to my bold self, but for now, I am still honest in my content, just a little more careful with the titles and the first and last couple of seconds or minutes of my video. Okay, so basically, I'm just telling you not to judge my videos by their titles. Okay, guys, I'm sure most of you will remember who Jeff Rayner is. And for those of you who don't remember, he is the photographer who set up Thomas Markle, Megan's father, for that photo shoot prior to the wedding. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how it went down before we get into today's story. I'm sure you all know who Cole Lawson is. Yes, he is also a freelance photographer, a celebrity photographer, and basically nothing more than a paparazzi himself, who had a bit of luck with a photograph of Paris Hilton crying in the back of a police car. I think she was caught on a DWI. Anyway, and thus he can demand a bob or two more for his photographs than, say, other paparazzi. Carl Lawson is not a very popular photographer, though, not among the celebrities, and has been described as ruthless. And not all the celebrities are as fond of Carl Lawson as, for instance, Miley Cyrus, who allegedly likes him. But that is all besides the point. Carl Lawson is a photographer, the owner of Carl Lawson Photography, but he is not an agent, and therefore he often works for or works through the likes of Coleman Rayner, who are both photographers, agents, and distributors. So what happened was that Jeff Rayner or Carl Lawson, I can't remember which one it was, but they were in a collaboration right from the beginning. So it doesn't really matter either who found out where Thomas Markle lived. But Carl Lawson was dispatched to take photographs of Mr. Markle. Mr. Markle was not keen, and he, Carl Lawson, knew it because Mr. Markle had already turned down others who phoned him for an interview and all photographs. So what did Carl Lawson do? He basically stalked Thomas Markle, and his opportunity came when he caught Mr. Markle power walking outside one day. Now, Mr. Markle did not plan on being photographed and initially did not even know that he was photographed. So he was all sweaty and shabby, etc. So when those photographs were published, they were slightly blurred and blah, blah, blah. Mr. Markle was horrified. Okay. Now, these photographs weren't widely distributed, but they did appear in some magazine or newspaper. I can't remember which one. But anyway, now the scene was set. Mr. Markle was embarrassed, and Jeff Rayner knew it. So Jeff Rayner contacted Thomas Markle and offered to take photographs of him, which puts him in a better light, preparing for his daughter's wedding and all, and hence this set-up planned shoot. So one would be hard-pressed to say which one of the two is actually the tackiest, whether it's Carl Lawson or Jeff Rayner. But before you jump in and choose, there are a few things that you may not know about Jeff Rayner. So, although Carl Lawson went ahead and lied to Thomas Markle a second time and lured him into doing that YouTube channel thing, Jeff Rayner was the one who got a 2-year court-ordered restraining order against Thomas Markle Sr. after claiming that Thomas Markle was out to kill him. Yes, you heard me right. Jeff Rayner seriously thought that the then 77-year-old Thomas Markle, overweight, who had just suffered a stroke, posed a threat to him. Well, the judge granted him the order because Thomas Markle failed to show up for the September 13 hearing. And indeed, Thomas Markle failed to show up because Thomas Markle was too sick to show up. But never mind, if you think that is all there is to show that Jeff Rayner is a nasty piece of work, you will be sorely mistaken. The cheesy photographs of poor Mr. Markle is not Coleman Rayner's biggest scandal. In 2017 or 2018, I think, articles are not precise on the actual date. Anyway, Coleman Rayner was exposed as having conducted negative research in 2016 of one of Weinstein's accusers, actress Rose McGowan. Coleman Rayner did this job on behalf of one of their clients, American Media Incorporated executive Dylan Howard, who then passed it all on to Weinstein, telling Weinstein in an email, and I quote, "I have something amazing," to which Weinstein replied, "This is the killer, especially if my fingerprints are not on this." "They are not," Howard replied. Even Coleman Rayner's employees were disgusted by this conduct, and their picture editor, amongst others, actually resigned as a result. But that is not the end of the story. You see, like his pal Meggsy Upsadaisy, old Jeff Rayner does not know when to leave well alone, and also appears to be a rather litigious person. Yep, old Jeff decided to sue Seven Network for defamation over a Sunrise interview with Thomas Markle. Thomas Markle spoke in the September 15, 2021 interview about his relationship with his daughter Meghan Markle, and Jeffy claims the broadcast defamed him after Thomas Markle said he had been set up to take the staged photographs in an effort to derail his daughter's wedding. Well, Seven Network disputed the claim and denied that to defame Mr. Rayner was the intention. But, they said, if the claims are such that Mr. Rayner can be seen as a dishonest photographer who conned Mr. Markle, then the claims are true. And as you know, if something is true, they can't sue you for defamation. Anyway, Mr. Rayner also sued the network for falsely claiming that he had conspired with Weinstein to take compromising pictures of Weinstein's victims to prevent them from suing. The media firm pleaded a separate defense in this claim, one of contextual truth, saying that Rayner, being a dishonorable conman who engaged in dishonest conduct, including portraying Weinstein's victims in a bad light, was indeed true. Again. Justice Anderson found that Seven did put Jeff Rayner on notice about the interview with Thomas Markle, and that Seven's defense of contextual truth was indeed reasonable, and that Rayner's business dealings involved deception and dishonesty. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, or then thank you, judge. Jeff Rayner was ordered to pay Seven Media's legal costs. So, guys, for those of you who do not believe in karma or divine justice, here it is in the best possible way. Now, let's see old Jeffy suing me for what I told you today. Not gonna happen because it is the truth. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back on the royal and not so royal beat tomorrow. So until then, please take good care. Bye.